Hi, I'm Rob Consalvo with H1, and today I'm joined by...
Sheila, Senior Medical Science Liaison at Jazz Pharmaceuticals.
Today we're going to be talking about medical affairs and the healthcare ecosystem in general, and how we're partnering together a little bit. But Sheila, what I really am curious about is a lot more about you. So could you tell us a little bit about your role, and what is a Senior Medical Science Liaison for Jazz Pharmaceuticals?
Well, Medical Science Liaison, these are the field-facing professionals that work as an arm of medical affairs, and we are out there, I don't want to say scouts, but we are out there to understand the landscape, to understand what issues our clinicians are facing, and to help educate. And also, we provide fair and balanced information upon request to physicians and advanced practice providers in the field, for me in particular, of sleep medicine.
Well, that's fantastic. And when you say out there in the field, you mean in hospitals, at universities, basically interacting with people who are in these different thought communities?
Generally, medical science liaisons work with what we call key opinion leaders.
Okay.
So they usually are associated with an academic center of some sort, but they also can be out in sleep medicine clinics.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we work with top tier key opinion leaders, and we try to figure out who those people are.
I have a lot more questions, as you can imagine, about who the appropriate people are, just given what we do together. But I want to talk a little bit more about some of the things that you're seeing in the space in general, right, within the pharma and life sciences space. In the last couple of years, with all the recent advancements in medicine's become a lot more technical and a lot more hands-on. How does the medical science liaison role change with some of the new paradigms in medicine?
Well, yes, it has changed a lot, in particular post-COVID. We're doing a lot more virtual, and that was a huge change, because really what we do is work and like to see people face-to-face, but you can see them face-to-face virtually.
Yeah.
And also, one of the things that's very difficult sometimes for busy clinicians that we've been talking about, they have a lot on their plate. It's hard for them to see us. So we need to be flexible and figure out ways in which we can get to know them and use their time efficiently.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that I've seen is people are having a hard time getting to those clinicians.
Sure, yeah.
Limited time. Hospitals have a lot of rules, and you can't just always have easy access, so you have to really be flexible. And
What are some of those ways that you have to get flexible?
when you have to figure out where they're at, where they're going to be, and you might not be able to see them in their office.
Yeah.
Maybe you can see them on a webinar. Maybe you can see them at a meeting, grand rounds. Maybe they're presenting a poster. So if you really can pay attention to where they're going to be and who they work with, who are their collaborators, that's really can help you a lot. Get that face-to-face contact, or be it virtual or be it real time.
And I think that makes a lot of sense that's shifted, especially with COVID. And I think I've also noticed a trend of focusing on like digital and digitization. I don't know, does that impact your world at all? Does the digital movement, from like even a digital opinion leader perspective?
Yes. Some of the companies have actually hired digital MSLs.
Oh, really? Okay.
So really keeping track of what's going on in social media.
Yeah.
Who says what, and bringing those feedback in is so important. For me, social media is really key. Now, there is an etiquette to it, and we have to maintain very compliant. So you don't want to feel like you're lurking out there. But generally speaking, you do go out, and it's so vast though. Trying to get a snapshot of what all of our different key opinion leaders are doing. I mean, an average person might have 50 to 75 key opinion leaders that they're responsible for. So it's really hard to keep track.
Yeah.
what they're doing, but it's really important.
And you've mentioned insights as well, and bringing things back into the company. What are the kinds of things that you look to go and learn from the space?
Yeah, what's changing? Trends such as, for me specifically, home sleep testing.
Oh, interesting.
Now up to 70% of sleep testing is done at home.
What does that mean for the patient?
Yeah, it means that they might not have to come into the sleep lab. They might be able to be managed at home.
Yeah.
And might not have to come in and have that test. And so the new technologies that we're looking at, wearables, are really hot.
Yeah.
And it's really important. We all want to be aware of what's going on. So finding a reliable wearable device where people can track.
Yeah.
People love to take charge of their health.
Yeah.
And so also new medications that are coming to play. There's lots and lots of research going on in our, really I deal primarily with narcolepsy, idiopathic hypersomnia.
Okay.
And there's a lot of changes going on. So just keeping track of all of that. There's a vast amount of different companies and information that we want to find out what's important, how things are going, who's involved in what clinical trials, who's publishing what, who are they publishing with. It's information that it's just going wild.
I know we do work together in a lot of that, right? H1 provides those data. We've been doing it together for a while. Are there things that you've seen from us that have been really impactful in sort of the way that you're doing your work?
Well, how much time do you have?
Well, I only have a little bit before the airport, but
It's just so impactful.
That's awesome.
I just love to wake up and see what's going on in social media, for example. That when you added the digitization to that piece is really great, because I can see who's doing what, who's chiming in, and all of that. And I have set it up so I have all my key opinion leaders that are in social media, and I have my top ones. That's a fun thing.
Yeah.
But when you really get down to it, what's really important for me is looking at their publications, and it's like a look at a glance, and you can see, and you get notified when they published. Instead of setting 15 alerts, different
like all the Google alerts and everything. Yeah,
exactly. It's all there for me. And then what another really a piece that's been super impactful for me is drilling down into their network of excellence. And looking at who they are working with, who are they collaborating with, how many times, when was that? And you can just really drill down. And then depending if you want to get really, local with some of my physicians, you can see even referral patterns. Just interesting. Who is referring to them? Are they having, is psychiatry referring to them? Is cardiology and so forth? It's the information that's there is just, I just was looking this morning and I saw a group of, it tells you who your physicians are speaking for, what other company they're speaking for. And there it all is. And it has them all listed out. That would take me, I would never be able to get that information.
Well, thank you. It is a labor of love, I will say. As someone who's been here for a while, it has been a labor of love. And I think it's very clear that the patient is at the center of your world, right? And just the way that you talk about it, the way that I know how jazz is and what's, how you are, but I think other people might be interested to hear as well. What's your philosophy on that patient centricity? You personally, how do you feel about that?
Well, it's a hot word. Everybody says patient-centric, but living for patients is really important. And embracing the values and understanding how everything we do affects those patients. And having deep conversations with physicians, and also listening out there to what patients are experiencing. Doing qualitative research, for example, with patients that are suffering from idiopathic hypersomnia or an undiagnosed disorder, having just the empathic behaviors that you need to have, and moving forward with collecting the quality of their experiencing what they're experiencing. How are we making a difference in how they're able, is it just, take a pill and you're better? No, it's much deeper than that. It's really, how are they able to work? How are they able to function? Yeah. Are they able to work?
Yeah.
Are they able to care for their children? And just always keeping that in the forefront of everything we do. It is absolutely central that we think about that patient every day. And there's other things we could get into, but it probably falls outside the scope. But we are really, really committed to the patients that we serve.
I think it's very clear from the actions too that you guys take that are very patient-centric and putting the actual well-being of those patients first. It's very clear. I know a lot of the things that you guys do are mainly focused on helping the patient achieve long-term health benefits. So this is an MSL for sleep, and I have to say it. What keeps you up at night?
Yeah, sometimes work keeps me up. But, worrying about doing the right things.
Yeah.
Worrying about honesty and integrity, yet balancing that with the business that I'm in, working in a pharmaceutical company, but always remaining my clinical focus and my patient focus and doing things right, but doing the right things.
Oh, I love that.
For everyone.
Yeah.
And, having that trust and respect with physicians and their collaboration.
Yeah.
Telling them the truth and the whole truth.
Yeah.
The good and the bad. And helping them think about all the things that different patients and different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I know it sounds, crazy, but, figuring out personalized medicine.
Yeah.
What's best for their patient.
Yeah.
And taking into consideration everything that we know about our product, positive and negative, and then, giving them the information and having them make the decision.
Yeah. And that trust is so important. And I would imagine that the work that we do together helps facilitate that, or at least I hope it does. It seems like that might be the case. So
leaps and bounds. My practice is so different since we have used H1.
Thank you.
The software and the people as well. People make it, right?
Thank you.
It's made a whole difference in my knowledge base. I just wish I can have more time to dig into it. It's just a great program.
Thank you. Are there anything day to day that you use that you're just really keen on?
I like every Monday morning I wake up I just moved it to 8 a.m. because at 7 a.m. sometimes I get my alerts.
Yeah.
I get my alerts. I get all the publication alerts, and I get my social media.
Yeah.
And I can begin my week by looking at that, and I look forward to that to see, because then it gives me things that I can talk to my clinicians about and shoot them a text or shoot them an email and say congratulations. My goodness, just being able to stay on top of that, it helps me. So I like that a lot, but there's so much more.
Sheila, thank you so much for making the time with us today. I hope that this was a good conversation for you. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I learned a lot and I got to know you a lot better, which was really nice. But yeah, really, thank you for making the time with us today.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure working with you, and I love the conversation.